My name is Gaurav Shivargi and I am teaching chemistry for 3 years at Resonance. I have done my BTech from IIT Kanpur. I got All India rank of 1757 in IITG 2010. Today I am going to teach you about the solubility of sparingly soluble salt in ionic equilibrium. So let's start. Ionic equilibrium. In ionic equilibrium, today we are going to study about the solubility of sparingly soluble salt. So what are sparingly soluble salt? How those salts are different from the normal salts? Let's see with an example. So let's take an example of AgCl and NaCl. We commonly know that NaCl is a good soluble salt. It can completely dissolve in water in a large amount. So let's start with an experiment. And we also know that the AgCl is a precipitate. What is a precipitate? Something which do not dissolve in the water. And NaCl is a common salt, soluble salt. So suppose we take an experiment. We take a container in which we have taken a water. In this, we have taken some amount of AgCl. This is AgCl. And another test tube, in this some amount of NaCl is taken. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to add these two in the solution. So commonly, first we are going to see about the NaCl. What we are going to expect? When we add NaCl, this NaCl salt is going to completely dissolve. So this is going to completely dissolve. So what we are going to expect? The ions of those NaCl is going to completely dissolve, and this NaCl is going to dissociate into its ions, that is Na plus and C negative. So this solution contains a large concentration of Na plus and Cl negative depending upon the amount we have taken. So in this solution, what we are going to obtain? Na plus ion and Cl negative ion. And this is a soluble salt because it gets completely dissolved in this. So this is earlier known salt. Okay. But when we take AgCl, so what we were going to expect? When we add AgCl, the large portion of AgCl is going to remain as undissolved portion in the bottom portion of the container. Okay. So this is undissociated AgCl. Does it mean that AgCl would not dissolve at all? No. Actually, what happens is when we add AgCl, the large portion of AgCl remains undissolved, but the certain very tiny amount of AgCl dissolve in this part. So few ions of Ag plus and Cl negative is going to form. This few amount of Ag plus ion and few amount of Cl negative ion is going to form. So when we say it is an insoluble salt, that is a bit tough word. We should say it is a sparingly soluble salt. Actually, no salt is insoluble salt. So all the insoluble salt which we name are sparingly soluble salt. How is sparingly soluble salt? What is sparingly soluble salt? Those are the salts which do not dissolve appreciably, that dissolve only in the tiny amount. So this AgCl is a sparingly soluble salt. Sparingly soluble salt. So it dissolves in a very tiny amount. Okay. So what we are going to see? In this also we are going to expect an equilibrium going to exist between the AgCl, which is the undissociated part, which is a solid portion, and the ionic part, that is Ag plus and Cl negative. It is going to form a basic equilibrium between AgCl solid into Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion. So again this Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion in aqueous form. Generally we write aqueous form AQ, but sometimes we do not write. It is already known that those ions will be in the aqueous concentration only. So we can write AQ or we can equilibrium. Now this is a basic equilibrium is going to exist between this. And what we are going to expect in this? We are going to expect that this AgCl is going to, the solid portion of AgCl is going to dissociate into Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion. So this AgCl is going to dissociate into Ag plus and Cl negative ion. Similarly, at the same time, this Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion are going to join together to form again a solid portion of AgCl. So basic equilibrium, this AgCl get dissociate and Ag plus and Cl negative joins together to form AgCl. So basic equilibrium going to exist, and we are going to study about this equilibrium. Okay, so let's continue. So again, how this equilibrium is different from the other equilibrium, this sparingly soluble salt. Why we need to study differently this? Okay, so let's take an example of common equilibrium we studied earlier of the acetic acid. Suppose we take a solution of acetic acid. This acetic acid is going to dissociate into acetate ion and H plus ion. So for this reaction, the equilibrium constant is going to be Ka. Now, when we are asked to write the equilibrium constant relation for this equilibria, so what is going to happen? This K is equals to concentration of acetic ion into concentration of H plus ion upon concentration of acetic acid. So this is going to happen. So what is the beauty of this expression? This expression has the Ka value, which is a constant value. It do not change with the change in the concentration of any species in this. It only change with the change in the temperature, which we are not changing right now. So this is going to remain always constant. And in this equilibrium, what we are going to expect, when we increase the concentration of acetate ion, all the different things are going to attain such a value with this such a value, which is going to remain constant K, which is going to remain equals to a constant Ka. Okay. So in this expression is going to satisfy at all conditions. At the initial, when we take the acetic acid and equilibrium achieved, and after that the situation is going to be constant, and this expression is going to remain always satisfied. So this is always satisfied, always satisfied. But for the case of spirally soluble solids like AgCl, what is going to happen? This AgCl is a solid portion and it is going to dissociate into ion, Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion. So when we are asked to write the equilibrium, again equilibrium relation for this expression, so what is going to happen? So its equilibrium constant is Ksp. What is Ksp? We are going to study in the later portion of this chapter. So Ksp is equals to concentration of Ag plus ion into concentration of Cl negative ion upon nothing, because we know the concentration of AgCl solid would be a constant, because earlier in the chapter we have studied that when the concentration of pure solid or pure water occurs, we are going to take the concentration of those things as constant value. So we do not write in the expression of our equilibrium. So Ksp equals to concentration of Ag plus and Cl negative. Okay, this is good enough. But what is going to happen in this? This is going to be equal at the only certain situation. It is not going to equal at the all situation. So what is going to happen? When we take a large container, and in this large container we have taken a large amount of water, suppose, and this large amount of water we are going to add AgCl. So if we take small amount of AgCl, so we expect this small amount has a capability to dissolve completely, because we know this the AgCl is a very tiny solubility which is going to dissolve in a very tiny amount. Okay, so again we have taken very tiny amount of AgCl and add in this water. So what we see that the AgCl get completely dissolved and going to form Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion. So we have taken a small amount of AgCl and add in this large amount of water. So what we are going to see? We are going to see this Ag plus and Cl negative is going to dissolve, but completely it can completely dissolve because we have taken a small amount of AgCl. So this solution get the concentration of Ag plus and Cl negative. Does this solution has a more capability of dissolving AgCl? It may be. If we take again small amount of AgCl and again further add in this solution, it may get further dissolved. At the first condition, what is the problem in this solution? This solution has the few concentration of Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion, and the product of those two concentration is not going to equal to Ksp, because in the earlier question the solution is unsaturated. What does it mean? What is unsaturated solution? Unsaturated solution is a solution which has more capability to dissolve salt in the solution. Okay, so in a solution which has more capability to dissolve salt means it can dissolve further more salt. Now, if we take further more AgCl, it gets dissolved in that, and after certain time, the situation is going to exist, which is known as saturated situation. At saturated situation, what is going to happen? At saturated situation, the further more salt is not going to dissolve. It is going to form further precipitate. It is going to exist as an undissociated AgCl. So that is the saturated condition. So this relation is going to be satisfied at only saturated situation. It is not going to exhibit in the initial condition at the unsaturated condition. Unsaturated condition, initially what is unsaturated condition? When the solution has more capability of dissolving this salt. At that point, this Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion, the product is less than Ksp. At that point, we know this solution can dissolve more AgCl. So at saturated situation, the salt is get the capability that on further addition of salt in the solution, the salt is not going to dissolve. Now we study about this at the saturated condition. So let's define few terms. So first we are going to define a term solubility. So what is solubility? Solubility. What is solubility? Solubility is the amount of salt which can be dissolved in a water, and after that no further salt is going to dissolve in that solution. Is a solubility. Again, the amount is a random number, so it should be defined particularly with a proper units. So we are going to say as a molar solubility. So what is molar solubility? Molar solubility is the amount in moles, the moles of salts that can be dissolved in a 1 liter of solution is the molar solubility, and after that the further salt is not going to dissolve. That is the solubility. So what we can say, it is a maximum amount. This amount is a moles. Then this solubility defined will be the molar solubility. है ना? The maximum moles of salt that can be dissolved in 1 liter of solution. After that, the situation is going to exist that on further addition of salt, the salt is not going to dissolve. That is the amount, the maximum amount is the solubility. Generally, we represent is as the S. Okay. Second terminology, we are going to study about the solubility product. Solubility product. So solubility product. What is solubility? Solubility product is just a numerical value actually. The ionic constant, numerical value of the equilibrium constant for the salt which is going to exhibit in the solution. So this is equals to the equilibrium constant of salt in solution. Salt function. It is just the equilibrium constant. How the salt is going to dissociate in the solution, for that equation is the equilibrium constant. So now we are going to see what is where the question is going to occur like this. Is suppose solubility is given and they are going to ask the Ksp, and the maybe Ksp is given, so they may be asking the solubility. So interrelation between these two are commonly asked. So let's understand with a few examples. So suppose we start with an example. Find the molar solubility of AgCl given Ksp of AgCl is 1.69 into 10 to the minus 10. Okay. So this is a question in which the molar solubility of AgCl is asked, and given that the Ksp of AgCl is 1.69 into 10 to the minus 10. So how we are going to approach this question? So basic simple question we are going to see. So this we know, this AgCl is a solid part, and it is going to dissociate into its ion, this Ag plus ion and Cl negative ion. So let's start. Now for this solubility term, for this molar solubility term, it is connected with units. So we should be aware with the unit also. We should be very specific with the unit. So first we are saying molar solubility. And what is molar solubility? It is the number of moles of salt that is going to dissolve in 1 liter of solution. In connectedly, we can say it is a molarity of that solution. Okay. So what we can say? Suppose AgCl is taken, and suppose S moles of AgCl is going to dissolve in 1 liter of solution. If S moles of AgCl is dissolved, so how many moles of Ag plus and Cl negative is going to form? According to the stoichiometry, we can predict this. If S moles of AgCl is dissolved in 1 liter of solution, this is going to form S moles of Ag plus ion in that 1 mole of solution, and S moles of Cl negative in that solution. This S is the solubility. Solubility, what is solubility? Amount or moles of the salt which can be dissolved in maximally, which can be dissolved in 1 liter of solution is the solubility. So suppose S moles of AgCl is dissolved, so it is going to form S moles of Ag plus ion and S moles of Cl negative ion in 1 liter of solution. So what will be the relation of Ksp? Ksp will be equals to the concentration of Ag plus ion into the concentration of Cl negative ion. The concentration of Ag plus ion will be S. The concentration of Cl negative ion will be S. So Ksp will be equals to S square. So this is the expression of Ksp. Ksp equals to S square. Now, in the question we have given the value of Ksp is 1.69 into 10 to the minus 10. We got the S square, we got the value of Ksp. Now we will place the value of Ksp. So what is the value? 1.69 into 10 to the minus 10 equals to S square. So from this, what we are going to see, the S value will be root of 1.69 into 10 to the minus 10. Again, we are going to solve this value. It may occur for first time. It is complicated value, but it is not. We know the 1.69 is the square of 1.3. Okay, so 1.3 into 10 to the minus 5. So this is the 1.3 into 10 to the minus 5. This is the solubility. And what will be the unit? Unit will be the mole per liter. That is the molarity. So this is the molarity. Simple basic question. They have given the Ksp of AgCl and asked the molar solubility of this AgCl solid. Now, generalize. Now, let's take an in sparingly soluble salt in the form of AxBy. This is a sparingly soluble salt, and this is in the solid part. It is going to dissociate into A and B ion. A ion is going to be A plus Y ion, and B will be minus X ion. If A plus ion is A plus Y is going to form how many times? X times, and B is going to form how many times? Y times. How plus Y and minus X is came from here? It came from the basic formula of X and Y only, studied in the earlier portion of the chapters. Now, what we are going to see? Again, similar method we are going to approach. Similar method is going to see. Let's S moles per liter is going to dissolve of Ax and By. If X moles is dissolved, then how many A plus Y ions is going to form, and how many B minus X is going to form? Similarly, again with the stoichiometry, we can predict how much A plus Y and B minus X is formed. How much A plus Y is formed? If S is dissolved, it is going to form X into S, and how much it is going to form? Y into S it is going to form. Correct? Now, at equilibrium, at the saturation level, the Ksp will be the equilibrium constant for this reaction, which is known as its solubility product. Solubility product get the expression X equals to concentration of A plus Y ion की power X into concentration of B minus X की power Y. Now we are going to place the value of these two things, and it is going to appear as xs into की power X, ys की power Y. So this is x की power x, y की power y into s की power x plus y. So this is a general expression of any salt. If we have to find the expression for any normal salt, any salt which comes in the question, we can write the expression like this. It is not necessary to remember this formula, but it is good to see this is the main formula, general formula. Okay. Now we do another question. So let's start with a simple question. Let's take 3 sparingly soluble salt. Sparingly soluble salt. And those sparingly soluble salt are AX, BX2 and CX3. Now, given that their solubility product has the ratio of, given that ratio of solubility product is 1:4:27 respectively. Okay. We have to find these, we have to compare the solubility of AX, BX2 and CX2. Compare, and now compare the solubility of above salts. So what is given? So in this expression we have given the Ksp's relation, and we are asked the relation about the molar solubility. Okay, so let's start the question. So see, AX is the salt and AX is going to dissociate into A and X ion. So for AX ion, the KSP relation will be, let's assume its KSP is KSP1, so it will be H1 ka whole square. We have seen earlier that AX is the similar as AgCl salt. Okay, BX2 will be the KSP, its solubility product is KSP2. For KSP2, the relation will be, we have seen the example of CF2, it comes out to be 4s cube. Okay now, so 4s2 ka whole cube is going to come. And for CX3, the KSP relation will be, we can find it is going to be 27 into S3 ke power 4. How it is going to see? CX3 is going to dissociate into C plus 3 ions and 3 times of X negative ion. Okay, so if solubility is S, it is going to form S and it is going to form 3S. So KSP relation will be S ka power 1, we will write first expression C plus 3 into the concentration of X negative ki power 3. This is S into 3S ka power 3 and which is going to be 27 ki power S ki power 4. So the KSP of all this will be the 27 ki power S ki power 4. Got it? Now, what is given? We have given the ratio of KSP1, KSP2 and KSP3. So let's write in the form of ratio. KSP1 is to KSP2 is to KSP3, which is equals to S1 का square 4s2 का cube और 27 का S की power 4, S3 की power 4. Okay, the ratios are 1:4:27. And this is S1 का square, 4s2 का square, 27 S3 का power 4, S2 का cube. ठीक. Now, on solving the ratio, what we are going to obtain, the ratio of this 4 is going to cancel out with the 4 and the 27 is going to cancel out with the 27. So final relation is going to come out to 1:1:1:1. S1 का square is to S2 का cube is to S3 का power 4. So after this, many students get the answer that the solubility are equal. S1 is equals to 1, S2 equals to 1, S3 equals to 1. Be careful from here. What is going to see? What we are going to see? We get the ratio of S1 square, S2 square and S3 square. Again, what we know, that the solubilities are very low because we have taken the sparingly soluble salt. So for these salts, the solubility is very low. So the ratio is 1:1:1, correct? But when we convert ratio into actual values, we are going to replace with a constant k. So this is going to be S1 का square equals to k, S2 का cube equals to k, and S3 का value equals to k. This is going to happen, and this k is obviously less than 1 because we have taken the sparingly soluble salt, and generally k's are very less than. Let's assume if k is equals to 10 to the minus 12. If let's assume. So what we are going to see? We are going to see the value of S1 from here. The value of S1 from here will be equals to 10 to the minus 6. From here, S2 value will be the cube root of 10 to the minus 12. That will be 10 to the minus 4. And S3 will. Now after solving the values, what we will get the value of S1, that is 10 to the minus 6. Value of S2 10 to the minus 4. And after S3, this S3 to the power 4 equals to 10 to the minus 12. And the fourth root of 10 to the minus 12 will be 10 to the minus 8. Now, after seeing the values of these three values, what we are going to see, which is greater, S3 is the greater, 10 to the minus 3, and minus 4, and minus 6, which is greater S3. So, in this, what we are going to see, S3 is greater than S2, and S2 is greater than S1. Comparatively, we are going to see this CX3 is more soluble, BX2 is less soluble, and AX is more less soluble. So, that's all for the today's lecture.